What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Alex's Toy Show.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Alex's Toy Show. It's Monday Night Raw review. I got my notes right here. I'm looking a little spiffy. I had to be somewhere today. I got all spiffified. That's a word. Kind of like Longley. Oh, you people know who you are. Alright, so Raw opens up, right? We have Night of Champions last night, and a couple things I predicted. I want to say I was like 5-3 with my predictions. Couple things I got right. Couple things were like, oh my god, I can't believe it. Whatever. Raw after a pay-per-view is always very exciting. And I have to say, this past Raw wasn't terrible, but it had to focus around a couple of things, and it almost did all of those things. Okay, so, opens the show. And I'm sorry, go back to Night of Champions, find the main event, Seth Rollins, he beat Sting. Sting, I don't know what the hell happened to Sting, right? It looked like he had a freaking heart attack in the damn ring. Turns out he actually did get hurt. That big splash that Rollins threw him into the corner, he banged his neck, sort of like a severe whiplash, something, but they're thinking he's probably not going to wrestle ever again. They're thinking, you know, it's a big injury, and I hear that, you know, they don't want to risk any further injury, so he's not scheduled for any more matches. Sheamus comes out to cash in, but can't because Kane comes back. By God, it's Kane, and it's the masked Kane. Now, here's what's clever and almost at the same time I can't be bothered. On Raw, it's not masked Kane, it's corporate Kane. And everybody's like, wow, what did you do last night? And he also sets up a match with Rollins and Cena for the rematch on the US title for Monday Night Raw. And they're all like, you know, what are you doing? And Stephanie is like, you need to give the mask back. And she's like, give it to me. And Kane slaps her a high five. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? What am I looking at? So they're playing it like two separate identities. Like there's corporate Kane and there's the masked Demon Kane, and they're two separate people. Like each other one almost doesn't know the other one exists. So they kind of play that off until the end, where Kane makes a big promo via the screen, you know, the Tron, and you know, he's like, be careful what you wish for, because you might get it, and then like something like that, but then he does like the mean, I'm gonna get you. He's gonna do the, you know, the brows fro, and the vein pops out of his head, and he's like Demon Kane, and fucking whatever. So the other thing I want to know is Chris Jericho, you know, the big reveal as the surprise third partner in the 6-man tag against the Wyatts. It's Chris Jericho, and he botches the win because, you know, he tags himself in on Roman Reigns, and then he gets himself pinned, and Roman Reigns is like, what the fuck, right? And then Dean Ambrose is like, guys, what are we doing? They're standing in the ring, and Jericho kind of bumps shoulders with Ambrose on the way out, and I'm like, well, then why even friggin' have him be the third partner? So, you know, so there's the confrontation, the Roman Reigns is in there, Dean Ambrose is in there, the Wyatts are in there, and Randy Orton makes a surprise return. Friggin' thank God. I don't know why they didn't use him at the pay-per-view. I think he was busy. Who the hell knows? So, Orton's back. At least Orton's back. Thank God. Then there's Charlotte's celebration for winning the championship against Nikki Bella at the pay-per-view, and they're all celebrating, and Team PCB's in there, and Charlotte's crying, Ric Flair's in the ring, he's crying, everybody's crying, they're crying and profiling, and Paige is like, I had enough of this bloody shit! Right, because she's British. That was my awful Paige impersonation right there. You can call it a heel turn, you can call it, like, whatever the hell you want to call it, because you're going to call it whatever you want, but you know what, she hasn't really been heel all year. Like, you know, there's the Bellas, and there's Paige, and they feuded. Now, the Bellas aren't exactly a face either, so everybody loves Paige, so you think maybe the Bellas are, you know, the bad guys. But then there's Team Bad, who is essentially bad. And, you know, at the beginning, it was Naomi and Tamina, and they're all like, oh, well, if Team Bad is bad, and they're fighting, you know, Paige and they're fighting the Bellas, then maybe they're both faces, but just ones that don't get along, like John Cena and anyone else. But then they promote Sasha Banks and Charlotte and Becky Lynch, and all of a sudden we have, you know, Team Sorority Sisters. Then you have a 3-diva team band, and then you have Team Bellas, which are 3 people. It's Foxy and the Bellas. So you have 3 on 3 on 3, and now you have just 3 rival factions, and it's like, what the hell are we doing with this science experiment? And so they have the match. Charlotte wins at Night of Champions, and then Paige is like all pissy. Now, I knew Paige was going to lose her shit back at the Beat the Clock match on Raw, because when she didn't beat Sasha, she got all pissed. Like, don't touch me. I don't want to be cheered on, or don't console me. Bitch, I want that title shot, right? That's, you chicks know what I'm talking about. So then backstage, Natty appears out of nowhere, like even more scarce than an RKO. Natalia's back wrestling, and Paige even called her out. And where's Natalia in the Divas Revolution? Do you even still work here? I'm trying to do the accent. I don't have a British woman's accent at all. Doo-Hop does a better accent than I do, and he actually has an accent. So anyway, so Natty ends up having a match against Naomi and gets squashed. Like, I turned my head to see what was going on the computer, and I flipped over to the Yankee game. I come back, and the match is over. So it had to be really quick. She's backstage with Natty, and Natty's like, you know, what are you doing? It's unprofessional. I felt like if Paige was me doing the not really a heel turn, because you all think I turn heel on Grimm, but I really didn't, and then Natty is Grime calling me unprofessional. It's my pal Alex and Grime on Monday Night Raw. What else? So that's the highlight. Those are the highlights of Raw, and they're not even really highlights. You know, Kane is 2 separate people. He's probably gonna flip out and carry on and whatever. The Divas Revolution is splitting up, and thankfully and rightfully so, because you can't have 3 on 3 on 3 forever, and you can't expect Nikki and Brie to go for the same title against each other, although, yeah, maybe you can. But you know Paige is not going to sit on the sideline. Becky Lynch ain't going to sit out there for too long. She's hungry. And Sasha Banks doesn't even give a shit about Team Bad. She just wants the title. That's my opinion, at least. The rest of Raw was pretty quick. Sheamus beats Mark Henry pretty quickly. New Day and Rusev 6-man tag against the Dudley Boys and Ziggler. New Day and Rusev win. Naomi beat Natalia, I said earlier. Big Show punched out Cesaro, who didn't have a match on Night of Champions. How are you Cesaro and you don't have a match? Unreal. KO punched him in the ring again, and he was just... Cesaro pulled some serious moves on Big Show. Like, oh my god. Because he is. Cesaro's a man. Cesaro, he needs to stop wasting his time with the Big Show and go right after Seth Rollins now. And then the main event was Rollins and Cena, you know, for the rematch. Cena does his Super Cena shit. He takes a frog splash right from Seth Rollins off the top rope. And he's like, "Nuh-uh, I'm powering this over." And he flips over and he lifts him up. "Oh, I'm going to lift him up right into the AA." And he throws him on an AA and wins. And whatever. Like this video, leave me a comment and subscribe for more.